So let's just go ahead and get started. So my name is Kaylin, as my dad, as known as Brett Snodgrass, introduced, and I am the assistant of Brett at Simple Wholesaling, and we are members of the Cyria company, or Cyria, or whatever you say, Central Indiana Real Estate Investors Association. And if you guys do want to go and sign up for members at the Cyria, then contact Vicki Perry for more questions and information about that, or you can visit www.cyria.org. So if you guys would just go and sign up for that. So it is time for Brett's amazing insight of the week. So can we please give a slow clap for Brett Snodgrass?
Give a slow clap for Kaylin. You know, I'm just trying to think about like what separates people that are actually out there, you know, doing deals, and then people that aren't, and they just can't get off the ground. And I heard this book, guy who wrote this book last year, he called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. And that title sounds like super terrible, right? Nobody wants to read this book called Execution, you know? We don't have college classes or business classes talking about executing. We talk about creating our business plan. We talk about creating our vision and our goals, but we hardly ever talk about how to execute our plan, right? And this is what this book kind of talks about. And this really resonated with me. Don't pull them all up here, but so here's the 4 disciplines of execution. And whenever I go to these things, and I see a lot of people, they keep coming to these seminars, they keep coming to these conferences, and they still can't quite get off the ground. And for me, I'm an executor. I'm an implementer. And I could probably go around the room, and a lot of you guys are a lot smarter than me and my team at real estate. Because you've been to a lot of conferences, more than I have. You've done things, you've read so many more books, but you can't seem to get off the ground. I think that it really boils down to you're having trouble executing what you're learning, what you're listening to. And so, you know, when I come to these things, I'll write down 1 or 2 things, I'll go home and implement it. 1 or 2 things, I go home and I implement it. I actually do it. So, the 4 executions, or 4 disciplines of execution, you gotta have a goal and you gotta know what it is. And that was one thing that really resonated with me and my team, because for a long time, we didn't really have a vision, we didn't have really a purpose. Our why was kind of foggy, and even when we did have our why, even when I did have my goal, I had trouble relating it to my team, so they didn't really know what we were doing. And so if you have a team, you have to know your goal, and you have to have your team know your goal. You know, research shows that 15% of employees actually know their organization's most important goals. So it's like, you know, people are working for the company, they don't even know why or what they're doing. The second one is managers and teams don't know what to do to achieve their goal. So the activities that you guys are doing isn't moving the needle. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? We have to move the needle. Are you doing something today to move your needle? And we have something in our company called the Stick at 6, where I have each person, we have a spreadsheet, and we all share it. And we have each person has their own column. Brett's here, Jaren's here, Tyler, Alex, Gary. We all have our own column, and we all write down what's the top 6 things that we're going to do today to move the needle. So each person has their daily goals to move, and I would encourage you guys to do that. And then they prioritize it. So they write down their 6, and then what they're supposed to do is they look at them, and then they say, okay, this is my most important thing. And you put that number 1. Then you say, okay, this is my second most important. You put that number 2. And then you do your most important, cross it off, and you don't go to number 2. You get number 1 done. Because most people don't. They just spend time in their inbox. They don't get out of it. They spend time on their, whatever devices, and they can't move the needle. So make sure that activities that you're doing are critical to moving the needle. The third one is they don't keep score. So, you know, if you guys are a one-man business, are you keeping score? You know, we have a scorecard. So every Friday, we look at our scorecard, and I keep metrics and score for our team, so they can know if they're doing well. You know, I know I talked about that before, but when you guys go play golf, I mean, how many people keep score? You know, number one, it just kind of helps you measure how good you're doing, and so you can again move the needle. So keep score, and the last one is they aren't held accountable, and I'm really tough at this, helping my team held accountable. Myself, do I hold myself accountable? So are you holding yourself accountable? Is somebody else holding you accountable? I know I was talking to one guy the other day, and he wants to lose weight, and you know, something that he struggles with. And the advice that I gave him was, do you have somebody that helps keep you accountable? And that's, you know, and that's just huge. Like, my business coach helps me keep me accountable, because when I go visit my business coach, like, you know, I know I have to do whatever I said the meeting before. I have to get those things done, or I'm going to be kind of embarrassed. You know, like the guy who's trying to lose weight, if he eats a ding dong when he's not supposed to, his accountability partner is going to see that, right? And he's kind of embarrassed. So it just kind of helps you guys, you know, move the needle. So those are kind of the 4 disciplines of execution. They're simple, guys, and I don't know, that's just, you know, I love a simple business, so I know this is kind of simple stuff, but that's just kind of the insight I was kind of thinking about. So make sure you guys not only create a business plan, but execute it as well.